Parshas Toldos can hit a nerve. It forces us to sit with a story that feels uncomfortable. Yaakov Avinu, the Ish Tam Yoshev Ohalim, the pure learner, engages in what looks like deception to secure Yitzchak's brachas. It feels jarring. It feels out of character. It raises all sorts of difficult questions. But maybe the parsha isn't inviting us to judge Yaakov. Maybe it's inviting us to understand Rivka. Because on paper, the whole thing doesn't make sense. The brachas Yitzchak wanted to give Esav Gashmis, material blessing, dew of the heavens, fat of the land, grain and wine. That's not what Yaakov asked for. Yaakov wanted the basics, bread to eat and clothing to wear. Why did Yitzchak want to do this? Yitzchak envisioned a partnership. Esav would support Yaakov materially, and Yaakov would carry the spiritual mission forward, a classic Yisachar Zebulun arrangement. It sounded beautiful, except Rivka knew the truth. Esav would never carry the weight of that partnership. She saw past the facade, past the frum questions about tithing salt, past the performance. But why Rivka? Why not Yitzchak? And what does this mean for us? Rivka had a strength she never wanted, but desperately needed. Chazal describe her upbringing, a father who cheated, a brother who cheated, a city full of cheaters. She was a rose among thorns. And perhaps you know exactly what that means. Perhaps you grew up or are living in an environment that's less than ideal. Families with broken communication, communities with expectations that don't match reality, situations where we have to become strong. When the future of Klal Yisrael was on the line, Hashem needed someone who could see through the illusions, someone who understood what manipulation looks like, someone who recognized danger beneath sweetness and truth beneath confusion, someone who could say, "This plan won't work, and I know how to fix it." Enter Rivka. Have you ever thought why the wife of Yitzchak needed to be a person who came from such a background, surrounded from birth by a bunch of crooks and thieves? Because when Yitzchak is about to give the brachas to Esav, which would affect the entire future of Klal Yisrael, he needed to be stopped. If Rivka had gone to all the best base Yaakovs, had impeccable yichus, a shidduch resume like no other, if she had been the type of person who never witnessed a crooked transaction her entire life, she would have had no way to intervene and preempt Yitzchak's intention. But Rivka knew a thing or two about deception. She remembered her father, her brother, the people of the town. She knew how to handle the situation. She reached into the bag of tricks she learned in her father's house. Rivka didn't want to know these things. She didn't want a childhood full of crookedness. But that toolkit, the one she never asked for, became the one that saved Klal Yisrael. And that toolkit was not used forever, not regularly, just once, just when it mattered. And we all have a moment like that. A moment where your past gives you tools for your present. A moment where a strength you never wanted becomes strength you rely on. A moment when you realize Hashem didn't burden you, He equipped you. And this is the message we can take from a parsha. There is nothing in you that is random. No experience is wasted. No strength is accidental. And Hashem never gives you something to break you, only something that will one day become a strength, a clarity, a tool you didn't even know you were being given. Just like Rivka. Good Shabbos.